Hello everybody and welcome to the Final Plan, the show each and every Friday where James and I run down what we're planning and thinking about for this game week. This game week is game week 16. How are you, James?
I'm all right, mate. And yourself?
Can't complain. Nothing's really happened in the last 24 hours from a footballing point of view to change our opinion on anything of any sort, has it really?
No, but we should cover...
There's been no sackings, has there? There's been no one from the top six losing again, has there? There hasn't been a shock defeat for Sheffield United along the way and a benching of Lys Mousset to irritate me, has there?
Should we cover off last night's two games? And first of all, I guess, Marco Silva finally gone from Everton.
Yeah, he was 1-8. In one of the football WhatsApp groups with a few mates, they were, is it worth sticking 50 quid on?
I think
the returns are so low.
I think that they sacked him 10 days ago.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think they said, look, you're employed by us.
Yeah.
You continue your work for the next two games and then we'll send a nice thanks for your hard efforts kind of bollocks shit. Yeah, I think...
They got their two tough games out of the way.
I think even Silva knew.
Yeah.
I think he knew. Where they go next to be seen. They are now 18th in the league, Everton. Still in a run of some difficult fixtures with Chelsea at home, United away, Arsenal at home.
But it's tough all the way till Christmas, man. Tough all the way till Christmas for those guys.
So the consensus last week was very much that they didn't want to get a new manager in before the two away games of Leicester and Liverpool because they wanted to have a manager bounce. But my take on it would be like, if you know who you want, which we don't know if Everton do or not, get him in. Get him to look at the players and take those two games as a swing and a miss.
I don't know how much you can trust the media. Earlier it was Moyes, and then it was the fans don't want Moyes, so we're not going to get Moyes. I don't know what you can and can't take from what the media is saying. But, well, look, Duncan Ferguson's in charge. If nothing else, he'll give him a bollocking at half-time. You just don't want to be the end of Duncan Ferguson hairdryer treatment, do you, really? So,
no, as it stands, David Moyes is 11-8 favourite. We think there's a possibility that might be an interim move. The one that's had the big money in the last 24 hours or so is Vitor Pereira, who's managed a couple of clubs overseas, Porto, Olympiacos. I think he's out in China at the moment on some stupid salary. I don't know if Everton fans would find that quite uninspiring, but that appears to be the name that's come right to the front of that market.
Well, we shall see. Two games last night. Sheffield United lost to Newcastle. Having said that, and St. Maximin in my North team picked me up a cheeky 6 points, mate. I haven't even logged in to check that team this morning.
You haven't logged in to check that team for about 2 weeks, but we'll come on to that. Good win for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Defended well.
I don't know if you could say they were the better side. Sheffield United was still all right.
First goal so important for Newcastle in those fixtures. I think a couple of things happened last night. I think Chris Wilder preempted the fact that Newcastle were going to play against Sheffield United like nobody else has played against them so far this season. Actually going to Bramall Lane pre-game and going, you know what? We take a point here. That'll do. They're a good side. And I think the reason he picked Billy Sharp and McBurney was twofold reasons. One, obviously, Mousset did have the hamstring knock against United, and you don't really know if you want the player playing 3 games in 8 days or whatever it is. And on paper, it was probably the one to leave out. Bearing in mind that Mousset and McGoldrick work the channels really well, you're not going to get down the sides against Newcastle. Because it's a back 5, it's not a back 3 with wing backs. You know, without the ball, it really is a back 5. Then you've got the second block of 4 where even Almiron and St. Maximin go into wide areas. So I think that's why he made the decision to go down that route. Because I didn't think that he thought he could get the best out of his favoured 2 up front, who I think they'll come back into the side for the Norwich game.
Yeah. Hasn't put me off by Mousset. It's just that little bit of annoyance.
The problem for Sheffield United now is Newcastle have gone and done it and had a little bit of success. Will others now go and try similar?
Maybe. You never know.
Because nobody's gone and tried. We've lauded Sheffield United for how they've played. Now we'll see if other teams try and give them the respect that in truth they deserve and set up that defensive against them to say, go on then, break us down. Because as good as Mousset's been in that, like if you just defend deep against them, I don't know if there's enough goals in that team.
For most opinions, and I would agree, on the whole, most of the season, West Ham have been average to abject to pathetic to whatever words you like to use. There's been spells of good, but not. If we beat Arsenal on Monday, we go level on points with them. What does that say about their season? If you listen to AFTV, which I did, and I know Adam and I were talking about it on Twitter, because I think Simon Jordan's really putting the boot into AFTV.
Did you see what DT said about him?
Oh, yeah. Dipped in a bag of Doritos. That's possibly up there as one of the top 5 insults of the year. Dipped in a bag of Doritos.
Brilliant.
One thing I would say is I do actually think they want their club to do well, all the people that go on there.
Do they?
I think so, yeah. I actually do. But their talk is the R word. Same as I've mentioned it for West Ham.
Nonsense.
But then it's like comparing to the famous Leeds side that went down. I don't think there's anyone who's too good to go down. The only problem here is that there's 2 or 3, at least 2 clubs that are almost already shot. And so there's only 1 or 2 spaces. So.
I think there is a concern for Arsenal fans that their home form for 10 plus years really has got them out of the poor performances away from home. They've now picked up 3 points from their last 4 at home.
I didn't realise...
In games which they would have looked at pre the 4 fixtures and gone, minimum 10. You know, there could be one that you slip up in.
I didn't realise it's 2 months without a home win.
2 months without a win.
Yeah, sorry, a win.
Pronto, mate.
Yeah, it's not good. I think they're quite justified in being a bit pissed off.
So nothing's changed. It started getting colder 2 months ago. We do this every year with them. I'm not to this extent where they're now in their worst run since the late 70s.
We'll talk more about them on Tuesday because I'll get a first-hand look at what is actually going on and see what Freddie Ljungberg sets out because they're not going to appoint a manager between now and then. You'd think that they're not going to appoint a manager.
Freddie Ljungberg's not getting that job now.
No, I agree with you, but they're not going to appoint a permanent manager between now and then. Is what
between now and Monday, very unlikely. Yeah,
and Brighton should take that 3 points and run and be happy with that.
Brighton should take those 3 points and be absolutely proud of the way they played.
Exactly,
because as bad as Arsenal were, and we always do that, don't we? Good, smaller side plays well against big team. All the focus goes on the big team.
Crap.
Brighton were fantastic.
Excuse me, particularly in that first half. Though.
When it went to 1-1...
We said it earlier in the week. I said, if Brighton turn up and play the way they played against your lot, they'll beat Arsenal. And what happened? They've turned up, did that, beat Arsenal.
When it went to 1-1, you felt that tide come in, as in they were going to be under pressure and would cave. And it got to a stage where it was, okay, right, make sure we don't go behind. Then settle and just calm the game down. I've said it so many times, it's so unrecognisable from the side that should have gone down last year. Like Dale Stevens, who for me was nothing more than a good positional player, actually looks like a good footballer now. Like he's very in control of the ball. They have a number of rotating midfield players and what they do fantastically well. And admittedly, it's easier to do against a side that's so irrationally inept as Arsenal. They play in between the lines so well. There's always someone picking up space in those sort of 10 roles inside wide positions to go and turn and get at a back four. I thought Maupay up front was excellent, really good. And Connolly's a live way. I think they're better going with 2 out and out forwards like that.
If you had the choice now, Connolly or Mousse, because they're both very similar price, couple of pips in it.
Mousse's still
the one for anybody looking for a budget option.
I honestly think there was more tactical in that with Mousse last night than what people have been mentioning. I think he just looked at it and went, we're not going to get down the sides here. I want to go with a little bit more physicality. And you have to remember, Dubravka did make a number of saves. He ended up with a 10-pointer.
Yeah.
So, all right, struggled. The one thing we have to mention from that game is the goal.
St. Maximin's.
No, Shelby's.
Shelby's VAR one, sorry.
I take it you've seen it.
I didn't see his guys. I was watching Gooners.
So we'll give you a brief description then. Ball gets played from the left-hand side in towards Andy Carroll, who started up front for Newcastle.
Buy him back. How much to buy him back?
Carroll is coming back towards the ball.
Yeah.
looks initially like he's probably fractionally offside. Gets a flick on the ball. Shelvey goes to run through. Flag goes up. Sheffield United players stop. A few of their players turn their back on the ball. Henderson in goal doesn't look particularly interested. Shelvey goes through, rolls it in the corner.
Flag went up.
Flag went up before John Joe Shelvey was even control of the ball. But had it not gone up, like he would have been 1-on-1 from like 40 yards out running at goal. No one would have got to him anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that VAR's got the right decision. It has. I think it's a major fault from the linesman's perspective in terms of sticking the flag up. Like it's too close. We've got this thing in place now, so let the play go. It doesn't sit comfortable. That goal really doesn't sit comfortable with me. The fact that we've got like players giving up. Suj is looking at it now for the first time. Players not interested in the game. Even the Newcastle fans behind the goal, they don't celebrate because they've seen that flag 5 seconds or so before Shelvey puts the ball in the net. And it made me very uncomfortable watching the whole thing. Sheffield United have to take a massive amount of blame, but I do get the natural instinct to flags up, stop. You say play to the whistle, but when you see that visual, you can say, oh yeah, play to the whistle. That visual is going to make you stop.
Okay, yeah. This is now, I think the goal has to stand.
Well, under the rules, yes, it's the correct decision.
The goal has to stand, but it's just dumb. I think the liner's fucked up here.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have flagged at that point.
There was one in the Arsenal game last night as well where the referee had let it go. A flag had gone up, but it was in and around the box, right? So it was really fractional. Just let it play. This felt a little bit different because there was so much time between the flag going up and Shelvey putting the ball in the net.
Yeah.
It was a lot of time for people to think what's happening here. And admittedly, I guess by the point Shelvey gets the goal and is about to shoot, Dean Henderson should be thinking, have I heard a whistle?
Yeah.
So it just felt, it was really uncomfortable for me. I don't like all that. Let's not talk about VAR anymore.
Yeah,
I already gave it 120
you.
seconds or so.
It's the goal should have stood, but it's just another example of why it needs some stuff sorting out and ironing out. I think people will learn from it. I think people will start ignoring the liner.
I'll be happy with VAR when technology can immediately rule if someone's offside or not, and a sound goes off in the football stadium.
Yeah, why can't they
that is when I'll be happy with VAR.
Why would they not be able to just put a chip in someone's boot? I don't understand.
Technology-wise, it shouldn't be too far away where I think technology can control offside.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It should be
You'd literally just have two moving lines constantly between most attacking player and obviously technically by law second, if you include the goalkeeper, second most defensive defender. Yeah. There's got to be something that can track that instantly, and it takes so long. Like David Luiz's offside goal for Arsenal last night. That's where it really works.
Yeah,
where it's clearly offside. That's the opposite one where it's like, no, linesman, mate, stick your flag up. It's not even particularly close. When David Luiz scores, he's thinking, oh, I think I was offside there, but he doesn't know what's behind him. And we only need to see the first freeze frame. It's like, okay, off you go. We're still waiting 45 odd seconds. I don't know what we're waiting for. Anyway, what are we doing this week?
North v South. What are you thinking then? You want to change it up?
Do I want to change it up?
Yeah.
Wildcard is active, sir.
Is that what you're going to tell me?
So while I'm getting wildcard team up,
yeah,
you tell everybody what North v South is.
North v South. I have the 10 most northerly teams in England and Wales. James has the 10 most southerly teams in England and Wales. Obviously, I'm at massive advantage because of City and Liverpool and Leicester all being in my half of the draw. But you've got some big ones in Arsenal.
Wolves.
Yeah, I've got plenty of...
them Arsenal teams. Assets are throwing themselves forwards everywhere.
We've been playing a little competition. There is now 93 points between us.
Brilliant.
And I haven't made a transfer for 2 weeks. So
brilliant.
Obviously, I still had Sergio Aguero in my squad for the last 2 weeks, despite not playing. But then Donker, Mane, St. Maximin, Vardy, captain, all coming in and getting me returns for 55 points.
How many points you get between St. Maximin and Dendoncker?
19.
I mean, like, I've got... when you're even fluking that kind of rubbish out, what chance have I got?
Well, St. Maximin wasn't a fluke. I had just McTominay was injured 2 game weeks ago, so I had to move Saint to McTominay, and he's cheap, right? 5 million. So there wasn't exactly the wealth of choice, and I picked St. Maximin because of what I saw in the West Ham game. He was a bit of a live wire. I thought, you know what, give him a go.
How many points did you get this week?
55.
You still beat me.
Yeah.
Okay, right, brilliant. So I've wildcarded. I've essentially got all the London teams: Brighton, Bournemouth, Southampton, plus Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. I have wildcarded. And at the moment, with what I've got, I'm leaving 5.7 million in the bank.
Okay.
I don't need to. I can't even spend this money. It's ridiculous. There's no point me trying to seek value. I can't. So at the moment, I've gone with. This is interesting anyway because it brings a talking point for players you might want to consider over Christmas and particularly. Goalkeepers, I've gone Gator and Martin.
Yeah.
At the back, I've gone with 5 defenders that are all under 5 million because I can't find a decent one that's above that price. Tomori,
Yep.
I'm keeping at the moment.
Worth keeping.
Serge Aurier, incredibly reluctantly.
Lovely jubbly.
Martin Kelly, I think obvious. Lewis Dunk, Brighton.
Yeah.
I think he's probably the most solid and consistent asset at Brighton defensively, if not getting the goalkeeper. I've decided short term I'd rather go with Gator and the Palace double up. I think particularly with Dunk as well, obviously Montoya's been a little bit more in and out the side, came on a sub at Arsenal yesterday. The 5th defender I've gone for is my preference from the Villa lot, which is Matt Target.
Mm-hmm.
Midfield, I've eliminated the Son versus Dele problem and gone with both.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm keeping Mason Mount over Pulisic. I want to see more of Pulisic and positionally if Mount's going to stay in that 10 role. Wilfried Zaha, obviously, considering he's fired into the main team. Jack Grealish. Up front, back in for Abraham. Danny Ings I've had for a couple of weeks. And at the moment, Aubameyang, well, I'd like to get shot of him as well. You believe from this, one Arsenal player. Even though, I can't see any other Arsenal assets, midfield or defensively, that are better than what I've got there. I guess the headline there is no Harry Kane.
Yeah, but then you've picked 3 Spurs players elsewhere. So,
yeah.
I can understand why. I'd rather take Dele, Son and Aurier than work out a way of getting Kane in, to be honest with you.
That's my feeling at the moment, and I'll reassess that come Boxing Day, 28th of December. The money will be there to very easily move Aurier to a different defender and fire Kane in for Ings if I wanted to. The money's there. That's with 5.7 million left in the bank. I can't spend the money, mate.
No. I'm going to get rid of Sergio Aguero this week, and I'll do the simple, easy thing and bring in Gabriel Jesus. Okay. What else? And I may get rid of Chris Wood as well, in the same way that I am in my main team, and bring in Mousse because of the fixture against Norwich. Other than that, I'll line up pretty much exactly the same.
I'm not telling you what to do with that team.
No.
But buy Jimenez. You don't need to save the dollars with Mousse and that, mate. Just get Jimenez.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Riding high. What are you doing with your main team? Because that's what we should really talk about.
Well, before we do, can we make a very easy differential transfer?
Yeah.
Anthony Martial to Dele Alli. We've got the money. Is there anything to debate there?
No.
Okay, fine. That's
Dele Alli is a good shout. Anyone that's looking for that £8.5 million player, Dele is the one.
And who would we captain? Him or Son?
Son.
Or Jesus?
Son.
You want to captain Son?
I do want to captain Son.
All right.
But I'm hugely biased. But I think you should pick players that make you happy. Especially when they score, you get that double enjoyment. Not only am I happy that you scored, I'm happy that it was you that scored because I like you. So Heung-min Son.
The ones that make me happy are the ones that scored. We had 59 points last week, wasn't too bad. Captained Jesus.
Yeah.
Goal from Lacazette. The dodgiest assist ever from Serge Aurier, and goal from Matt Doherty was our lot, which got us to 59, actually.
Matt Doherty's been coming back into the fray. He's been doing all right more recently. I think and he played well the other day as well, so interesting.
He's had consistent minutes, like I said, since Wolves made that change at Newcastle a few weeks back.
Yeah. I'm going to be selling Chris Wood for Lys Mousse this week, and I'm going to roll my other transfer. I could make a move on Yarmolenko and I could make a move on Edison, but what I'd rather do is keep rolling my 2 transfers up until game week 18 and then have the flexibility of 2 rather than having to take a hit. Yarmolenko's still going to sit on my bench. If I get rid of Ederson this week for Henderson or another, I'm not then going to spend the money that I've saved that week anyway. So I may as well just leave Ederson in goal for now. So I'm going to let Ederson roll. I'm going to let Yarmolenko roll for one more week on the bench. But I'm going to play Muse and get rid of Chris Wood this week. And keep the money. Keep building up a little bit. Captain's armband. There's no question for me. Leaving it on Jamie Vardy. Leaving it on Jamie Vardy.
I think the advice is probably not to captain Mane, which means he's going to absolutely tear it up now I've said that.
The advice from who? You? Or just the community in general?
Just us.
Okay.
Like, even though it's West Ham, I think forget Aubameyang now. Like, until you see different stuff from Arsenal. I think if Antonio plays, you'll beat them, mate. I said that yesterday. Alternatives to Vardy. You'll be tempted, I think, if you have Kane, Son. I've seen a few have mentioned Dele Alli as well. I would probably not. The one I'm debating at the moment, because I know I'm going Vardy against Norwich.
Yeah.
Have to, I think. I mean, the captaincy for that, especially if he scores on Sunday, will be the same as it was against Watford. It will be ridiculous. And I'm just wondering, is this the week really with them away to Villa, which isn't the easiest fixture? Is this the week where I should be looking at an alternative? And with a little bit of doubt on Mane, that leaves me with two choices. Kevin De Bruyne, who returns very well in home fixtures, and Jesus. Others will obviously be on Sterling. Is there a consideration here that you could captain a City player over Vardy? I think that's the conversation.
Well, Adam Hopcroft, our friend, tweeted about Kevin De Bruyne and his stats in the last few games, especially at home. Is he an undercover captain that is a little bit hidden? And he had a nice little cheeky FIFA video or something of Kevin De Bruyne. He looked even more baby-faced than he does in real life. Yeah, I mean...
You're not convinced, are you?
No,
have you got KDB as well?
I have. Yeah. I just think derbies are always dodgy games. Derbies can go either way. So yeah, I'm not feeling KDB. I don't mind Jesus potentially because he's just such a clinical finisher. But I'm not feeling Jesus. So I'm not feeling KDB.
There's two sides of that story. KDB's fixture irrelevant, really. Like, you know, he can have a really good return in this fixture.
Yeah.
The flip of that is obviously we know that in a roundabout way that because United will sit off deeper and will have more chance on the counter attack, that these fixtures actually suit them better, and therefore perhaps you shouldn't captain players against them. Just getting Adam's stats up now. Averaging 9.33 points per match at home in 6 appearances, including 3 double-digit hauls. In his last matches, he has had 12 shots, 6 on target, created 12 chances, 2 big chances, scored 2 goals.
Stats are okay.
Yeah, so are Jamie Vardy's.
Yeah, true. I'm going to stick with Vardy. I know it's a bit boring.
Even Vardy's stats are all right at the moment.
Cool. Anything else to add for this week?
I'm rolling. I'm pretty sure we haven't got all the team news at the moment. From the brief ones this morning.
Do you need to? You're wildcarding in a couple of weeks. Do you need to roll? Or are you going to try and make double moves next week?
Well, I'm thinking
use it or lose it.
I'm thinking I'm going to go 1 or 2 next week, and then the other 1 or 2 in game week 18. I ain't burning no transfer, fam.
No.
And then I'm done wildcarding once game week 18 starts.
Yeah.
That's the plan for me at the moment. So I'm building into that game week, almost like, well, I guess technically the liver blank is a blank game week.
Yeah.
I'm building into it with the option of then wildcarding straight from that to, I think, into some decent Spurs fixtures.
Yeah.
Possibly. Might give me the edge in the same way last Christmas I propelled Martial, Rashford and Pogba all in together.
Yeah.
I might do something similar with Spurs based on what I see in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't at the moment. My advice would still be don't buy this week. I think Burnley will be a resistant opposition tomorrow like they very often are in these sort of fixtures. But there's a concern about them defensively at the moment. And Nick Pope has let a few in recently, which I think he should be saving. Joe Hart is not the answer.
No. Should we have a bash on Super 6? Have you ever done Super 6?
Yeah, of course.
Let's have a bash. Let's set it in, and if we win, it's on my account. We'll go 60-40.
All right, go on then. What we got? Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Bournemouth, Liverpool. 3-1, Liverpool. You think Bournemouth will even score?
Liverpool ain't conceding, mate. They never concede.
They concede one each and every time, apart from to their local rivals. 3-1, I was thinking Liverpool.
I'd be 2-0, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Why, you don't think that...
No, I genuinely think they'll keep a clean sheet tomorrow.
All right, we'll go 2-0. I'm gonna let you do that. Tottenham, Burnley. 1-0.
Yeah.
Keep it a sneaky, simple 1-0. Watford, Palace. 1-0 Palace or 2-0 Palace? It's one or the other. Watford aren't going to score.
Yeah, 1-1. Watford might get something tomorrow.
I don't know.
Pereira's possibly back fit.
Yeah.
So if suddenly they've got Pereira one side, Sarr the other with Deulofeu and Deeney, then, that way short term, they might become an attacking option.
Cardiff, Barnsley. It's now getting a little bit...
We're talking about championship games now.
We've got 3 championship games.
You are absolutely getting yourself ready for next season, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Most people, 86% have said Cardiff are going to win. I've got no idea. But Barnsley have lost 4 of their last 5.
Well, Barnsley are bottom of that league.
So 2-0 Cardiff.
All right.
Let's do that. Fulham. Fulham, Bristol. We're going to go with Fulham.
2-1 Bristol City.
Why?
I like Bristol City. They would have been my outside tip for that league pre-season, actually.
Yeah, but Scotty Parker's got a song out. And there were
got a lot of young players in there. Got a few
earlier.
boys on loan from Chelsea. I fancy Bristol City. Where Fulham in the league? Oh, they're third.
Yeah, Fulham are doing all right under Scotty Parker. I think 2-1 Fulham. In the middle, 1-1 draw.
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Desmond. And Sheffield Wednesday against Brentford. Let's just call them Sheffield. That'll annoy Tomo.
Brentford.
How are you,
Brentford
Tomo?
are on a good run. They battered Luton 7-0 last week.
They've won 5 of their last 6. A couple of defeats in between. It's definitely going to be a Brentford win, I think.
All right.
2-1?
Yeah, let's have that.
2-1. Done. Submit my entry. Thank you for playing. And now they want me to bet. If I put a tenner on, I could win £1,187. That shows how likely our scores are to come in.
Go on then, do it.
Not gonna. No, we need Heskibo's 25-50 grand that he's going to win from Sky first. So there we go. We'll be back next week with so much content. I've got Monday Night Football. James is going all the way to Deutschland for the Champions League on Wednesday night. That should be fun. It won't be fun if it's the same as the home game, but it should be fun in the day out.
It's
anyway.
a Mickey Mouse game.
Yeah.
Hey, yet Mourinho takes youth players out there.
Yeah.
I'm just going for a couple of large beers.
Yeah, enjoy. But all the content will be ready and recorded and at you as it always is. Main pod on Monday, Tottenham on Tuesday, People's Poll is on Monday, Sky FF, Clash of the Correspondents, Final Plan, and everything else. And then Friday night, next week,
more beer. James's
birthday. Who got the assist and Fantasy Football Hubs meet up in Marylebone in town. If you don't already know about it, go on WGTA_FPL, which is Tom's Twitter handle, and make sure you get yourselves down. I'm still working on the PlanetFPL Christmas jumper design, mate.
Is this a serious thing?
I'm trying to figure out a way of making it happen.
Okay.
I was thinking of the 12 days of Christmas, 12 bonus points.
Do I have to let you measure my waist size and my boob size and all that? Because I'd rather you didn't.
It's a jumper, mate. I don't know whether you've ever had a waist size on a jumper.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I've got little arms, big torso.
We'll see. So, guys, thanks for listening in, tuning in. I hope you had a great week with FPL, unlike mine. We didn't talk about our ranks. I dropped 430k, mate. So let's talk about that next week.
430k? I dropped about 25,
870
30k,
to 1.3 million.
Oh, I'm at 335k, I think.
That was a real kick in the nuts, but there's a game week straight to get back on. So if you're like me, then don't worry about it. Straight back on it. Game week 16. Ciao for now.
Cue music, man, ciao. Good luck, everybody.